हेलो नमस्कार अनि सिक्किम क्रोनिकलमा यहाँहरू सबैजनालाई स्वागत छ। आजको यस एडिसनमा मसँग यङ सिक्किमिज हुनुहुन्छ जसले इन्डियाको वान अफ दि टफेस्ट एक्जामिनेसन्स युपिएससी क्र्याक गर्नुभएको छ। वेल तपाईँलाई जानकारी दिउँ कि लगभग 12 लाखजना मानिसहरूले प्रिलिममा अपियर गर्नुभएको थियो यो एक्जाममा। तत्पश्चात मेन्सको लागि 8 लाखजना सेलेक्ट हुनुभयो अनि वाइवाको लागि 2300 जना सेलेक्ट हुनुभएको थियो एन्ड वान अफ देम वाज याङचेन डोमा भुटिया। आउनुहोस् कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ। याङचेन, मेनी कङ्ग्रेचुलेसन्स। तपाईँको लागि मात्र यो प्राउड मोमेन्ट होइन, इभन फर द स्टेट अफ सिक्किम, हामी सिक्किमिजको लागि पनि प्राउड मोमेन्ट हो है। अहिले जुन थट प्रोसेस छ आफ्टर क्र्याकिङ दिस युपिएससी एक्जामिनेसन, वाट इज गोइङ अन इन यर माइन्ड?
As of now, I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm just enjoying the result and the achievement. So it has been that way. I'm very happy that I could do my parents proud and also my relatives, everybody in Sikkim, right? So that way I'm just enjoying the moment.
And your all India ranking was 677.
677, yes.
You're happy with the ranking?
Not very happy. I guess we are such being, right? Human beings are such. We are never content. We always tend to, dream bigger. So that way, that's there. But at the same time, I'm also happy that I could make it to the list.
Right. So when did you appear? I mean, when did you started the preparation?
It's been a couple of years, and last year I seriously gave the attempt, and this time I try to improvise upon my preparation. So that way the preparation has been going on. Along with my job, I've been working.
So where are you working?
I'm working in SBI as deputy manager. Recently got confirmed. And
so you are working woman, and as well as you were preparing for UPSC. Was it like daunting task to balance between work and preparation?
Definitely, it is challenging, but then one has to have this sense of time management, which I could do. I used to start my day early and utilize the time which I have before going to work, right? And after coming back from whatever little time I have, I used to utilize those. And while traveling, I used to listen to news channels, debates. So that way, I could kind of try and make the best use of my time. And I try to balance both in this way.
Right. So what were your subjects? I mean, optional and other subjects?
My optional in UPSC was sociology. So there are 9 papers in total. We have essay paper and general studies. There are 4 general studies paper, and then we have 2 optional papers and compulsory paper, which is English language. So yes, these are the papers.
So we wanted to know something about your educational background, where you did your schooling from and college,
I did my schooling in Sikkim. I studied in Kidekhang. After that, I studied in PNG. And I did my graduation and post-graduation from Bangalore University. Graduation was in biotechnology and post-graduation in microbiology. And I've also done MA in sociology while I was working from distance mode.
Yangchen, there is a perception among people taking UPSC. We know that it is one of the toughest examinations. So, I mean, there is I don't know whether it's a misconception or not, that you need to invest and devote almost 20 to 22 hours, almost 18 hours, for the preparations, and you have to go to coaching. Tell us something about this. I mean, highlight on this, more on this.
Yes, I mean, it is thought to be insurmountable, but I think with right kind of approach, preparation and guidance, one can do it. And it does not really matter whether one has taken up coaching or not, because there are a number of examples of people who have cracked the examination without preparation, without the coaching. And regarding the number of hours that has to be put in this examination, it varies from people to people, right? One has to focus more on the outcome, I guess, the output one get from the preparation. So for me, it used to be that way. Rather than the number of hours, I would see how much am I able to study, how was the topics or the subjects that I was able to cover for the day. So that used to be my yardstick rather than the number of hours.
And what was the most challenging factors involved in the preparation for you?
Challenging factors in the preparation for me, in my case, it would be managing work and studies. And apart from that, obviously there are lows in one's journey of UPSC, right? So that way one has to, have this moral support from people to give you that confidence. So, these are the challenges. And apart from that, I guess since we do not have a main center in Sikkim, we have to, the closest center would be Kolkata. So going all the way to Kolkata, finding arrangements, and so these kind of logistic issues are there. So these are some of the challenges that I faced.
So tell us, what was the experience during Viva? What was the questions the panelist asked you?
The experience was good and enriching one. I got to interact with very senior people, very learned people, right? And the questions which were asked to me was from my background, such as my banking background, what I learned from there, what are the challenges in public sector bank. And apart from that, since I had studied microbiology and, with the current COVID situation, right? So I was asked questions on what are the challenges, what can be done to, to mitigate the issues, right, that people face with the COVID. And apart from that, there were questions from my optional subject and international relations, such as India's relation with its neighbors. There were also certain unexpected questions, such as they asked me about what I do in my free time, and I told them about my niece, and they asked me to list out 3 things which I learned from my niece and how I would apply those lessons into civil services. So yeah, these were few of the questions.
Yeah. So which means you have to be ready to face any types of questions, because anything could be asked under the sun.
Absolutely.
During Viva.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the support system. I'm sure, you sought help from many people, right? How was your support from the family, and who else did help you to prepare for the UPSC?
My biggest support system has been my parents, my family, right? Apart from that, my friends who I used to prepare with. So what happens is, when we prepare, the examination does not, it doesn't appear to be an examination. It becomes more of a learning experience. We exchange ideas, we exchange about what we learned and their perspective on certain issues, and my perspective, which varies from people to people. So that way it used to be a very interesting, very interesting journey it was. And there are a number of people who has contributed and motivated me. I would say everybody, everybody who I have come across. The society in general, let's say, right? Yes, and also, the predecessors. There are people from Sikkim who have cracked UPSC. So when I look at them, it gives you motivation, because one is able to, I could relate with them, that it is.
Who were all those who helped you?
During my preparation, like interview preparation, if I have to list out the civil servants here in Sikkim, then Agya Tenzin Lodin was there, Raj Yadav sir was there. They helped me regarding the interview in terms of how to approach it, right? And what should be my preparation like? What are the expected questions? So all of these things, it helped me boost my confidence. So yes, there are a number of people. I may not be able to mention everybody, but it's just, this journey cannot. It cannot succeed without the help of a number of people, your friends, your family, people in general who you come across, right? My experiences in SBI, people who I've worked with, everybody has something or the other to teach, so I try and enrich myself using, all of these experiences, which definitely helped me in all the phases of my examination.
Right. So what are you looking for? Which cadre you are more interested in?
I have given my service preferences as IAS, IPS, IRS, and various other services. And I would be interested to work in any of these services, because during my preparation, we get to learn about what civil servants do, what are the values which are needed in them, right? How is the work culture, and what are the opportunities and the responsibilities that comes with this service. So all of these things, it created interest in me in all the services.
एकदमै खुसी लागेको छु यो एक दिन हामीले यो साइट देख्न पाउँछु कि भन्ने हामीले आश गरेको थियो त्यो देख्न पाएँ पढ्नु त सानोदेखि नै राम्रो थियो जस्तो उसको अब क्लासदेखि लिएर जुन चाहिँ सब्जेक्टदेखि लिएर जिद्दी थियो अलिक पढाइमा चाहिँ म यो पास गर्नै पर्ने होमवर्क मैले गर्नै पर्ने जस्तो एकदमै टाइम चाहिँ खाता किताबमै लाउँथ्यो सानैदेखि
अनि खुसी हुनुहुन्छ
एकदमै खुसी पढ्नु त अब पुरै नै खर्थ्यो रुमबाट निस्किँदैन त्यति अन्त प्राय हामीले खानाहरू पनि रुममै बनाएर पुऱ्याइदिन्थ्यो अब कतिजना नानीहरूको प्यारेन्टले त्यति सपोर्ट गर्दैन उहाँहरूले सपोर्ट त दिनै पर्ने हो नानीहरूले मेन चाहिँ मोरल सपोर्ट आमाबाउको प्यारेन्ट्सको मोरल सपोर्ट जरुरी एकदमै मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट आमाबाउको मोरल सपोर्ट चाहिन्छ
के भन्न चाहनुहुन्छ
मलाई एकदमै खुसी लाग्छ जसमा कि जो नानीले चाहिँ जुन जुन आफ्नो इन्ट्रेस्ट हुन्छ जस्तै म्युजिक भयो अब के उसमा आफै गर्नु मन इच्छा छ त्यो इच्छामा चाहिँ आमा बाउले चाहिँ पुरा सपोर्ट दिनुपर्छ
Let us talk something about, like, I mean, we know quota where so many students go to pursue their coaching for engineering entrance exam or maybe for the civil service are facing this mental health issue, right? I mean, so many suicides getting reported, so much of performance pressure. Did you ever, like, in your life had this kind of pressure while preparing for the UPSC?
During the preparation, like I mentioned, there are low phases, right, wherein one tends to self-doubt and one is not sure whether I'm going in the right direction, whether my approach is correct. So that way there are moments of low, and I would say that regarding the suicides which are happening among students, right, that is very unfortunate. And I think this in this kind of situation, like I said, moral support is very much needed. It could be with the parents, right, with your friends. So when one is able to share their experiences, they are able to manage it better. I mean, they'll know, right, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. So that way, just that kind of realization is needed. I mean, this situation, I think, with all the transformation which is happening, there are growing aspirations. So that creates sort of alienated feeling in oneself. There are high aspirations, but the means to reach there may be difficult. Like there are obstacles, and they may think that that obstacle is the end, rather than going beyond it, to look at the brighter side of the story. So that way, I think, yes, these are challenging, but definitely with all the community support and everything, it could be tackled.
You represent Young Sikkim, right? What is your perception and what is your observation when we talk about the young Sikkimis? Where are our young people heading?
I think young people are heading towards their dreams, right? Everybody has, so many aspirations, dreams, potentials, which they are trying to explore. So I think everybody are moving in the right direction, and there are support coming in from every way, from the government, right, in the form of skill development, so that they can enhance their skills, reach their fullest potential. So, that way I feel that things are heading in the right direction in a productive manner.
So now you have chosen to serve the society through your service. What do you think, which are the areas, in fact, in India, which really needs a reformation?
To me, I think health and education would be that area.
Why?
Which would require reform, because human capital is the asset of any country, right? So that way, I think these are the areas which requires certain reforms and which are happening. For example, in health, we have low maternal mortality rate is not good. The infant mortality rate is not very good. And anyway, there are progress happening in these areas. And when it comes to education, reforms are needed. Like, for example, the new education policy which has come up, right? And there are expectations from it. Many good provisions have been included in the policy. So that way, I think, we are heading towards a bright future.
So how do you see the new education policy, NEP 2020?
I think it is a progressive one. It takes into account the changing realities of the society. I mean, earlier maybe, to a great extent, learning was equated with rote learning. but that does not that may not be the appropriate form of learning anymore. One is required to have diverse skills, and the new education policy takes into account all of that, and it also has provision for learning in one's mother tongue, because that is said to be the most easiest way for the children to learn, right? To gain knowledge and also be associated with the studies, because there could be, as one passes through various stages of learning, there could be language barrier,
Right.
and that may kind of alienate them. So all these factors has been taken into consideration, new education policy, with various renowned committee like Kasturi Rangan committee. All of them have come up with a detailed study. So I think it's a step in the right direction.
So what Yangchen do basically when you are not working, and like what do you do? What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, like most of us, is listening to music and watching
What kind of
movies.
music you are into?
I don't have any such particular genre. Which I follow. It mostly depends on my mood, and apart from that, I watch movies and documentaries, and also spending time with my niece. With the preparation and job, there is very little time left. So in order to recharge myself, in order to feel joyful and get the energy, I look towards my niece, and she is full of energy all the time, and there is always learning experience there. So that is how I spend my time.
And when your training starts?
My training starts in about 2-3 months probably. Because of the COVID situation, there has been delay. So I'm expecting the service allocation, etc., to happen in about 2-3 months.
So you are now in full enthusiasm, with full energy, and with lots of potential to render your service to the society through your job, and it's really appreciative, what we personally feel also. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And what would be your a message to so many people watching you right now? There might be so many UPSC aspirants so what is your message to them? Tell us something about that.
My message to everybody watching this would be to to have a vision in life, to have a goal in life and work towards it, right? And never stop dreaming. And there may be self-doubt, but always remember those are temporary. One is always stronger to get past that, and just work hard, and that's all.
That's all. Yangchen, it was such a pleasure to talk with you and interact with you.
Thank you for having
Once again, we would like to register congratulations, and we hope you get the best of the best cadre. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So उहाँ हुनुहुन्थ्यो याङचेन, जसले भर्खरै मात्र युपिएससी क्र्याक गर्नुभएको छ, अनि अब उहाँ ट्रेनिङमा जानुहुनेछ, र हामी तपाईहरुलाई अर्को व्यक्तिको पनि अन्तर्वार्ता लिएर आउने प्रयास गर्नेछौँ। उहाँ यहाँ हुनुहुन्न, दिल्लीमा हुनुहुन्छ. We'll try to get in contact with him, and we'll also bring his point of view through Sikkim Chronicle. Thank you so much for watching. अनि तपाईले मुनि कमेन्ट बक्समा याङचेनको लागि तपाईले कमेन्ट्स दिन सक्नुहुनेछ। यस्तै इन्स्पायरिङ स्टोरीजहरु लिएर फेरि तपाईहरु माझ उपस्थित हुनेछौं. Until then, with the camera person Ashish Gurung, this is Nirmal saying bye bye and thanks for watching.